All right, good morning, everybody. It is a rough morning for me. I was up too late last night fighting with a book cover, which I am still fully fighting with. Um, it appears that GIMP, which is like an open source, it's a freeware. Ooh, there we go. Photoshop um, has gotten rid of some features that I need that I've never needed before because they're the sort of things that you shouldn't be using on book covers unless you are making sci-fi book covers. So, like, there's no way for me to do a starburst in it without using this weird thing that like there's just no way to get it to go onto an actual image. I could do like a oh gosh, remember in the dark days of Microsoft Word, the art, I don't remember what it was called, but you could do the really I'm sure it's still there, but the really cheesy art that you could do to the words. It could have literally just been called word art. I don't remember. Um, but like there's a whole gallery of that still on GIMP that is probably really useful if you're doing stuff like, um, if you're like trying to make images for like your YouTube channel or whatever. But when you're trying to put them on a book cover, they don't work because they don't come out the size that you need them to. So I couldn't do like a star burst thing that I wanted. Their lens flares are kind of goofy. Um, and now I'm just trying to do this halo effect that I've done before. And this stupid thing does not want. There we go. Hopefully this time it'll work. The stupid thing will not let me just do it to this one layer and not completely kill the rest of the image. It's a real weird issue that I'm having this morning. But also because of this, I was up until almost midnight last night fighting with all of this stuff. And then the cats were doing that thing that cats do where they just torment you all night. So I don't know. And I went through all of that to try to make this work, and it did absolutely nothing. So that has been my morning and my all of yesterday. I've been working on this cover so much that my eyesight kind of started to go last night, which is a problem that I have. It's not like it's some great big tragedy, but it is an irritating thing. So to that end, we're going to do a sprint and hopefully I can drop this whole thing and actually get some work done. So I'm going to see you guys in 10 minutes. It'll take us to quarter after. Ooh, can't talk today. All right. We are back. I hope you guys got a little bit of work done there, or at least got yourselves set up to get some work done. I did get a couple of scenes plotted out for that. I'm still in the middle of outlining for Nano. I am over halfway through, but just slightly over halfway because I did take that day off yesterday to work on other stuff, and also to just kind of figure out what's going on with this story, because it is now beyond what my brain has been thinking about at all. So I feel like I'm going to get this one finished today. Hopefully I'll get the other one finished tomorrow. If that's the case, that's the 23rd. So I'll have 6 days before Nano. Yes, 7 days, because 30 days have September, April, June, and November. October wasn't in that list. I'm going to get better at this. Yeah, because I'm going to have 8 days. I am sorry that I'm sitting here doing math to you guys, calendar math, which I am terrible at. I am great at math, terrible at calendar math. This entire time I'm babbling, I can literally look down at the calendar that is in front of me. Today is Thursday, the 22nd. If I finish today's outline today, and then tomorrow I finish the last outline, I have 2 Saturdays before Nano starts, which means I have 8 entire days to get a whole bunch of other stuff done. And I was worried. And I shouldn't have been, because I am moving at a perfectly reasonable pace. If only I was better at calendar math. But here we are. So yeah. So I'm going to hopefully get this outline done today and maybe make that cover look better, because it looks terrible right now. I thought it was going to be easy to do an alien romance cover because they're all the exact same cover and they're all really bad. And it's just like aggressive lens flares, but mine definitely looks homemade. And that makes me sad. Yeah. So if y'all are doing anything for Nano, let me know. I am in full on Nano mode now. Between getting all of this outlining done so I can have a really strong Nano, and getting some of these art things done. I have to have this cover done. So I don't know. I just need to have a cover. I don't feel like I am competing or participating in Nano if I don't have a book cover on that thing. So I got to get that done. But then I also have a book that's coming out in December that I haven't had the book cover done yet for. So getting those 2 done, getting an edit on that book, and getting some ad stuff together is all... Like, I got to get all of this stuff done before Nano, so I'm all set for it. Yeah. We are going to do another sprint in about 5 minutes. And hopefully Sandy did say she was going to... I knew she was behind me, but I didn't know she was going to be that cute behind me. Ever since I stopped doing the day job, the cats just live in my room. And I know that cats sleep a lot. I've had cats my entire life. I'm fully aware of this. But being with them 24 hours a day has really put out there how much cats sleep. That's all she does. I keep worrying that they're sick because this is their entire lives. Urban Moonchild, thanks for joining me and talking to me. It gets lonely up here when nobody else is here and I'm just doing my ramble. So Urban Moonchild says, I finished outlining for Nano a few days back. Awesome. Congratulations. So I'm just outlining other novel ideas I have. I love that. I love that you are preparing other novels right now. I'm actually preparing 6 novels right now. I'm only going to be writing 2 during Nano, just except that I just said I'm writing 2 novels during Nano. But all 6 of these are intertwined, so I have to have, oh God, I hate when you do that. Bad camera. I'm sure I'll come back in a moment. I'm just going to be blurry for a while. What you're seeing of my face right now is basically what I feel this morning. So you're using save the cat method, so it's not a detailed outline. Sandy doesn't see me. What is happening right now? Are you talking because I'm blurry? Are you making a joke because I'm blurry? Anyways, I don't do detailed outlines either. I just kind of, I throw together a bunch of scenes, like the program, whichever writing program I'm using. What is going on? Now I'm worried that I have dropped and that Sandy is having technical difficulties, and we'll find out in a moment. So I'm going to flip over to that screen and make sure that I'm not having some disaster happen. So I'm going to apologize because you're going to hear me talking over myself, possibly, depending on how this loads up. Oh, I am so blurry. I'm okay, though. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully Sandy's okay. Oh, there. Okay. It is just Sandy. Oh, I am so sorry about this blur. Let me see if I can trade my camera. No, I'm just blurry today. I guess I could move my camera closer. Oh, nobody wants to see all that. You're just going to be an angry camera today. I apologize. It'll probably fix itself before the next sprint. Anyways, what I was saying is that whatever program I'm using to write in, I just make a whole bunch of blank scenes, just like a solid wall for the stories that I'm doing now. It's a good way to also kind of control the length of it, theoretically. But so far, I just fill in like 20 scenes or what have you of just blank scenes, and then I just bounce around to the scenes to try to get my pacing right for where like critical things happen, and then I fill in the scenes around them, and each of them only get about a paragraph just to make sure that I know where I'm writing, where I'm starting, and where I'm going to, and what critical information I need to have in there, which can sound like a lot, but we're talking depending on what it is, it might only be 2 or 3 sentences. Sometimes it's longer if it's like really important stuff that's getting in there, or if it's like a reminder. I'm really bad about remembering the characters' lives outside of that immediate scene. So there's a lot of like remembering to drop extra things in there. I am so sorry that I'm blurry. This is going to drive me nuts. So this is what there. I don't know why that works. Cameras. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the not a detailed outline. I just like to have a little bit of something when I finish a scene, when I pop onto the next scene, knowing what I need to do, because I write entirely in sprints, and that means that I'm not giving myself a whole lot of thinking time in between scenes. A lot of times I am flipping to the next scene when I'm right in the middle of a sprint, and I just click that button and keep going. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our next sprint. We are running until 10 a.m. today, and I believe that ends up being 4 15-minute sprints. Yeah, that sounds right. So we're going to do 4 15s. We've already done the 10. We're going to do 4 15s today. And let's get this. Nope, not that one. That one. So it is 25 after. So we're going to go until 40 after. Good luck, everybody. Sorry, I'm going to click every flipping button this morning in search of the correct button, and we're just going to have to deal with that.
All fine.
Good morning.
Oh, I've got a double thing going on. Sorry. Good morning.
We are doing great this morning, and that is okay. Thank you for joining, Sandy. What are you working on today?
All right, I'm about to start working on, I think, the memoir. I was supposed to go back to my fantasy novel today, but this is funny. I'm like the chapter, the memoir that I'm writing, like my current subsection is titled "Infertility Isn't Your Diva Pass," and I and I happened to see somebody like diva out over it on Facebook yesterday, so I think I'm like in the mood to write this chapter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's how that's
going to find any reason to diva.
Oh my gosh, it's like you would think that like nobody else has ever gone through these problems. Like, oh, you're the only one.
Correct in assuming that this is somebody from like one of your groups that is specifically for women with pregnancy issues?
An old colleague, and I find it like a little bit bizarre when people post their like trauma on Facebook, no matter what. So I'm being a little difficult right now. I mean, I'm sure this is a little bitchy on my part, but it really bothers me. Like, come on, we all have problems. Like, we don't need to be posting to social media about how like absolutely terrible everything is. Not in 2020. Like, for us personally, as if nobody else has gone through the apocalypse this year.
Yeah. I have one friend who I give like a full pass for because she was literally like kidnapped and sexually abused by her father for years and years and years, and was like saved in a huge dramatic rescue from the police where like she has those photos of her with her face covered as the police bring her out. Like, and so like, you know, when it's the anniversary of her rescue, she'll post about it, or occasionally like something will come up in the news where she'll have an opinion on it. And I'm like, you have 100% permission to go because it was so dramatic. And like, it's something that like so many people knew because she was small town and big news. So, you know, she wasn't allowed to be secretive with it. She wasn't allowed to hide it. And, you know, so she really didn't have any choice but to embrace it. And she embraced it. And I love that she does that. But yeah, I have a lot of friends who absolutely make the issues that we all have sound like it is their own issues that nobody else could possibly understand. And the thing is that like, I know that like, I'm sure that there are actually neurotypical people out there.
Sure.
But like there was a point where, you know, we had that one roommate who had really severe depression issues, and I respect that, and I understand that like it's something that's outside of your control and it's very defeating and all of that. But Ken has PTSD from doing 2 tours in Afghanistan, and I have OCD so severe that I basically had to completely rewrite my life to survive. And that's not to lessen what was going on with her, but also she made it out like we couldn't possibly understand what she was going through.
That's the thing, right? It's not that we shouldn't talk about these things. It's not that we're not allowed to like post about our feelings. It's the like, I'm the only one in the world going through this right now.
Yeah. And like, she just did not understand the fact that like what we told her, like the advice we gave her from a point of understanding because we had been through it. It wasn't like where again, it wasn't like that we're neurotypical people and are just like, well, just be happy, like it wasn't that, but it's that like you really do have to get outside. You really do have to do physical activity. It sucks. I know. I hate it sometimes. So I get it. I get that you don't want to do it, but also don't act like we don't know what we're talking about. You will feel better for it. Good morning, Nikki. Thanks for joining us.
We should tie this to Nano in some way, right?
What was that?
We should tie this to Nano in some way. Here's my Nano pitch. Writers are depressed a lot, like all of us are. You're that person. You're in good company. Join virtual sprints. You can listen to other people complain about it too.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Just remember that like we're all dealing with it. So, if you're depressed and somebody else is like, I'm depressed too, don't be like, you don't know anything about my depression. A lot of us in the writing community are in fact neuroatypical, and like depression is just the tip of the iceberg for a lot of us. But the good news is that one of the best ways to deal with your depression or your anxiety or your combination of the two or those two plus like 8 million other issues, you can write about it. You can just get all of your feelings out. So the story that I'm outlining right now, the two characters are going to be separated for a big chunk of it. So they're going to kind of be pen pals during it. And literally the reason they become pen pals is because one of her doctors is like, you're not handling this very well. And I feel like you just need to vet to somebody who like is so starved for like anything other than battlefield stuff that he would love to hear you complaining about not fitting in here. That's literally what's going on in my story right now. Talk about your feelings. Yeah. But like you can do it in letters and nobody will ever have to see it, or nobody will know if they do see it that you are really sharing an actual episode from your childhood that traumatized you.
Oh, that's interesting. That's yeah. Writers really do deal with a lot of mental health issues, don't they? I mean, it is for sure true that it's not like this is common, and we probably don't do enough to like support other writers, any of us in any way. Because, all writers are depressed. So that sounds interesting. I just took up like half your break time, didn't I? Good morning, everybody. Let's talk about something really heavy.
No, that's fine because again, we're both real sleepy today. Neither of us slept well last night. I was up all night working with a book cover that is not going how I want it to. And Sandy's just very pregnant, and that leads to other issues that can make sleep difficult. Nothing gross. I feel like the way I said that, I was hinting that it was something gross and not just like really severe heartburn.
Severe heartburn is totally gross. It's not fun.
Yeah, but it could be like 8 million trips to the bathroom or something.
Fair enough. Yes, no, I also have to get up and pee a lot, but like the heartburn is definitely the thing that's the pain. So good morning and welcome to that problem too.
So the good news for us is that we do have that set schedule we follow. So even if we do go on like the most ridiculous tangents ever, we are about to go into another sprint in 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes happens to be now. That was a segue right there.
Good work.
So we're going to sprint for 15 minutes. I'm going to sprint for about 12 of that because the first 3 of it is going to be second cup of coffee. So it is 10 of, so we are going to sprint until 5 after. We will see you guys in 15 minutes. Okay. That was an entirely wasted sprint for me. I did discover. So I want one of my characters to have been in the Junior Olympics, but I was like, I need to actually research. Like, I just need somebody to be like extremely athletic, but not like having gone to like be a professional athlete. I figure Junior Olympics is a good way to do that. But like, I want to make sure, like, I don't really know that much about Junior Olympics, so I figured I would do a little bit of research to find out like what the age range is and like what sports are actually in it and all of that. This character is a swimmer, which I knew there was swimming, but like I was trying to just figure out what events they have in swimming and all of that. So first of all, I found out that one of the events in Junior Olympics is
What?
clogging.
Really? That's awesome.
Clogging. Yeah. Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of dance stuff. One of them is clogging. And then their website is a train wreck. So I couldn't even find like a list of events within each sport. I initially couldn't find swimming because it was listed as aquatics, and I was not looking at A, I was looking at S, but that's okay. Because swimming and diving are together. It makes sense, but it's too early for that kind of logic. And then I thought I finally had gotten to the right site. Like if I tried to look up anything for 2020, supposedly they happened, but there's nothing on their website. It looks like they never updated their website after whatever happened in 2020. But I did a Google. I'm like, well, let's see just what happened in 2019. And I'll see like what the scores are and like make sure that they still have medal rankings. Cause that's another thing. I don't know if they do for that or not. And I thought I ended up on the right page because I looked up swimming results. And then like I'm scrolling to the section that I think I'm supposed to be in. And it's all stuff about like solo and duets and teams. And I'm like, this is not sounding right. And then I scroll back up to the top and it's artistic swimming. It's synchronized swimming. And I still haven't found, like, do you guys literally do like a 500 meter? What is happening here? That's all I need to know. Yeah, so that was how I spent my sprint. And of course, it's one of those things that's not even like a huge detail. I was literally just going to have the character say that she took like gold in 2 Junior Olympics events and swimming events and call it a day on that. But like, I need to know more.
There has to be like a YouTube video on this or something. Like maybe
There probably is. I just thought I could Google, and I thought, well, if I just go to their website, perfect. But no, their website is completely useless to me.
I don't think I knew that there was a Junior Olympics. I know there's like a what's the Olympics called for if you have like a prosthetic leg?
Paralympics.
Paralympics, yes. I know about that, but I feel like athletes are so young these days in like so many sports. Like what's the junior part of it? Is it for children? Is it?
No, it's specifically 13 to 18 and it is US only. I believe. I don't think that this happens international, even though I think it's so basically, as far as I understand it, Junior Olympics is kind of that funnel to get to the Olympics for like they have obviously they've got tons of sports in it, but it's specifically, as far as I understand it, anybody who knows better than me can correct me, but as far as I understand it, and all of those sports that are less visible, like swimming, it's a funnel to get people to the Olympics if they are not collegiate yet. Because there are a lot of sports that like I was a swimmer in high school, and that's why I know this because I know what a junior Olympic pool is. Junior Olympic pools are smaller. But before you get to the collegiate level, a lot of these sports, it's hard to actually find them because like most high schools don't even, or I'm not going to say most, but some high schools, my high school did not have a swim team. So, and like the same with gymnastics. Up until you get to the collegiate level, you're basically in like private organizations.
Right. Okay.
So
I'm now like looking into this online, and I feel like I'm seeing a lot of pictures of very impressive child athletes.
yes.
Very impressive child athletes.
Oh, there is also Youth Olympics. So that's something different too. And that is international.
Oh.
I guess it's kind of like there's Miss America and also Miss Universe.
The research that writers do for their stuff.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. You do a lot of research. I feel like you're one of the people I know who does like the most research on various things that you do. I try to like write about stuff that I have some background knowledge in already. And you're like, I think today I'm going to do Junior Olympics.
This might be one sentence, but I feel like this also, I will say also part of this is the like the way that these characters I've mentioned before that they're all basically in prison for murder. This character happens to be Black, and so a little bit is going to be the issue that it didn't matter that she came from a wealthy family and they were so to do that she was a junior Olympian. It's still at the end of the day, like she definitely did not get a fair shake in her trial. So yeah, I definitely wanted to put some sort of wealth and discipline on her to show that she's absolutely been she's been mistreated. So yeah.
Fair enough.
And like, I feel like her sister is going to be a lawyer and murdered by like one of the partners in the firm.
Oh, I love legal dramas. I've totally got one I need to write next.
Yeah.
That's my winter project. I need to write my legal thriller. I'm thinking about doing Nano now. Oh my gosh, I wasn't going to do it. I was going to leave that behind, not do it.
Do you have something to actually write?
Yeah, I mean, I have this like, okay, so first I have that novella that needs to be finished. And then I have the angel romance that needs to be finished. And then I have like book 3 of my fantasy series that needs to be finished. And so I keep thinking, well, even if I don't have one specific project, I should really be doing that like 1667 a day, like, yeah, I should make that a thing. Because that would get me really far in a lot of those projects.
And are you going to be pretty much done with the 2 things? I just did the math earlier. You missed that whole struggle bus. We still have, counting today, we still have 10 days left in the month. Will you get your edits done in that 10 days?
Yeah. I'm
on really. You should do it.
What?
Then absolutely you should do it.
Yeah. I mean, so the fantasy novel I've been working on, I've been proofreading, right? So after I finish those edits, I'm going to send that back to my copy editor. And this is the very first time that I'm just going to, like, I would normally want to go through it like 5 or 6 more times myself. I don't have time. I'm going to have to trust somebody else to catch my typos. So it'll be hard. And then what?
I'll be here. I can catch typos.
That's a really long thing to ask somebody to do with typos. Like, you can totally have something more interesting than, God, I'm so bad about this. I love the book myself, but we're talking 120,000 words of like potential typos. Although I might give you a chapter or 2 that look.
Yeah. If you want to outsource to different people, then go for it. But yeah. Also, I did finally just find like a PDF, and that was all I was asking for. PDF of the 2019 Junior National Championships, sponsored by Speedo, but that's okay. Keep going.
You hear that outside? Like right this second, somebody is mowing their lawn. It's not my lawn, but like somebody is going insane. So the infertility memoir, I'll have that edited. I have massive work to do on it in November, but it's going to be like me reading it out loud to my husband to make sure I'm not doing anything like I'm not saying anything really horrible,
Right.
about me, him, anybody. So, I mean, that's the kind of work, that it's not nearly as intense, right, as like actual drafting and editing. So I think maybe Nano's the thing. Maybe I got to do it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, are we at sprint time? We are.
Are we at sprint time?
Okay. Yes.
Let's do it.
Hey, pronoun. Thanks for joining us. Oh, and hey, Devin. Sorry, I was like looking. I was all stressed out about the Junior Olympics. I miss people coming in. So we are going to do another 15. It is quarter after. So we'll see you guys at half past. That math didn't. Oh, yeah, no. I guess that is where we normally land on this one. All right, perfect. We'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
Okay, so that is time. And if you are with me, one, I'm sorry about the barky dog and the lawnmowers outside. That kind of goes together for me. And two, Chloe lost her internet during that time. I know it's not a laughing matter because internet loss is actually a huge issue for like later. And this means we've lost our host and timer. So we're gonna keep going. I'll run our next sprint at 9:40, and that's about 10 minutes from now. But unfortunately, I cannot show you a timer. So let's do this. If you can see me, we're chatting, and I'll put myself off camera for the next sprint so that you know what's going on. And hopefully the internet will be back before the end of the sprint. So yeah, the gremlins totally, completely got her. Also, so since I'm not hosting, I can't see the chat very easily, or I'm like several minutes behind. So here's, I think, something that I've been thinking about, and you can help me in the chat if you want, even if I am a little bit behind. So I've been thinking about doing some Scrivener Tip Tutorials, like short ones, probably not live streams because I don't know when I can live stream right now. And I was wondering from all of you, if you wanted somebody to do like Scrivener tips, what would they be? So right now I'm thinking like there's this outlining function on Scrivener that I think is really handy, but that I suspect most people don't even realize is there. So for nano prep, it might be really useful to be able to use the outlining function. Or I don't know if you guys are aware, or if you've used these before, but Scrivener gives you the ability to import templates. So like Jamie Gold, for example, has these fantastic beat sheets, particularly for genres like romance. And if you wanted to like use her beat sheets, I think she has an Excel spreadsheet version. So you could like find the Excel spreadsheet version and like use that manually. Or she has Scrivener templates. So you can actually like download her template and then upload it into your Scrivener. And Scrivener will automatically give you this sort of like beautiful beat sheet organized set of folders that you then like write your story to, because Jamie Gold's awesome and she created these templates. Kind of a disciple of like Scrivener and also of those Jamie Gold templates. I'm not affiliated with either of them. I should maybe mention that too. So like I'm not a nano ML. I'm not a Scrivener rep. If you hear things from me about stuff like this, it's because I actually just use it. And yes, Devin, the dog barking during the stream is tradition. If she didn't, it would not be a word stitch stream. And just wait, when I have a baby, it'll be even better. There'll be all kinds of fun going on. Okay. Oh, that's nice. You got to see me like closing the windows and such. Okay. So Scrivener outlining, Scrivener beat sheets, other things I've been thinking about. Did you know that you could change your icons in Scrivener? Like you can create custom icons. I think that's pretty cool for if you're organizing things. Or the index card function is pretty nice. You can sync Scrivener to programs like Eon Timeline, which is a real nice function if you're creating a massive fantasy saga and you need a timeline that encompasses like more than one time era. And I mean that in the sense of like I have Earth time and like space time, because that's what I thought a good first project would be. So syncing metadata. I don't think most people are aware of all of the metadata that Scrivener can store for you, or like exactly what that means. Maybe the compile function, that one's pretty tricky. It's really nice to be able to compile things in Scrivener for Word, right? But for ebook too, Scrivener does a really nice job of creating EPUBs. So that's something I've thought about. And oh, thanks, Devin, for posting the Jamie Gold website. She's amazing, isn't she? So the compile function. What else do I think is really good about Scrivener? I have the Windows version. Scrivener has been, Literature and Latte, the company that creates Scrivener, has been promising like a Scrivener 3, like the Mac version, for like 3 years now. And I'm sure that they, like all of us, have recently had to face the 2020 apocalypse. So we can give them a pass for 2020, but for 2019 and 2018, they're like a little behind. So if you're using Scrivener, the Mac version, you have a far updated version from the one I have. I have the Windows version, which has not been updated in a really long time, but it still has some really nice functions. And I mean, there's a reason that so many people use it. So if you have a particular thing that you would like to talk about in terms of Scrivener, let me know. Oh, Chloe joined us in the comments. Also, this is your response to my comments about Scrivener yesterday. Oh, because Chloe did a thing yesterday for her Nano region. Chloe is not the biggest fan of Scrivener in all ways. Because look, it does have limitations, right? Like, you're not gonna. Scrivener is not Excel. It's not a spreadsheet program. So, I mean, it's really not trying to be. But if you're looking for that, then you're not going to find it there. But still, got some pretty nice functionality. So let me know what things you would like to cover. And I'm going to try to do those as like little chunks, because I think Scrivener tutorials are extremely overwhelming. And I don't know about any of you, but I've never gone through the Scrivener tutorial. That just sounded horrible to me. I've like used the search find function if I couldn't figure something out, but you could spend hours learning Scrivener. And if you tried to do that, you'd be an expert, but you'd be way overwhelmed and you'd get no writing done. So my personal feeling about Scrivener is that you should figure out what you need in the moment, find the 5-minute tutorial that teaches you how to do that, and then, do whatever you want with that. So all right, so I am going to keep working on my memoir at our next sprint, which is going to start in 2 minutes. Also, this is like one of the longest times I've had to talk alone, which, like, kudos to all of you who do this all of the time. I think it's very difficult to talk to yourself for like more than 10 minutes at a time. Chloe, I'm very impressed right now that you are covering all of that time on your own. I would need like a specific topic. I have to like prep for that. Like, I'll have to talk about beat sheets, or I'll have to talk about outlining or something, or there will be nothing interesting that anyone wants to hear. Unless you want to hear about like my InDesign. You don't want me to do an InDesign tutorial. Nobody does. Okay, so tell me what projects you're working on right now so that we know what we're all getting into. And I think, you know what, you guys, you don't want to hear me ramble. Let's just do a slightly longer sprint. So let's do 17 minutes. I'm going to start our sprint now. If anybody has any other things that they want to, Chloe, I just pretend that everyone assumes I'm drunk and that's why I'm rambling. It's real early for me to be drunk, and I'm pregnant. I haven't been drunk in a really long time. This is just me not having a particular topic to talk about, but we're going to resolve that by starting to write. So let's get to that. Let's get some productivity done, and I will see you back here in 16 minutes. Good luck, everyone. Okay, that is it for today. So this is funny, right? Because I started off not here like at all, and now you're stuck with me. But luckily, we are at the end of our 2 hours of Rise and Write. So hopefully you got a lot done. I am not being as productive as I want to be, even though I'm working really hard on this memoir. It is because I have footnotes that I have to include. Footnotes are the worst. Hopefully that is not where your writing is, because, nobody wants to waste their time on footnotes when they should be drafting interesting things for people to read. But maybe you guys are all working on fiction today, and I hope that for you. So let's see. As far as what we are up to next, I believe there's a Rise and Write tomorrow morning, hopefully. If Chloe's internet is not back by then it'll probably be Rise and Write with me. So Rise and Write with Chloe and friends will be friends tomorrow. And I'll probably do Scrivener stuff all day long. So we'll set it up so that you can actually see my computer, and hopefully that'll give you some interesting Scrivener tips, since I am a Scrivener like apostle. Hopefully you could hear that. My microphone wasn't even in my face. Chloe says, yes, there is a Rise and Write tomorrow morning. So that'll be 8 a.m. right here on this channel again. We will also be back on Monday for our regular Monday sprints. I think that there are some folks here who are hosting write-ins. So I want to say Nikki does some write-ins on Fridays sometimes. So look for her channel. And then we've also listed quite a few other options in the description below. So find us there. And thanks for joining us. You are helping us be productive. We hope that we are helping you be productive. Thank you, Devin. So if you want more sprints, Sam Wicker is streaming right now. You can find that link in the comments. And you guys are good. You're like ahead of me. You must know that I'm stopping. And yeah, Chloe says she can't imagine she won't have internet tomorrow. She's giving them an hour and then calling, to demand internet back. So fingers crossed, we will have internet tomorrow morning, and also Chloe, and you will not just be listening to be rambling. But if you are, Scrivener tutorials tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for participating, and we will see you tomorrow. Happy writing. Bye, everybody.